Well, picks and bans are how you start the game, Graham. And we got them ready for game 2.
Look at that.
LG versus Spacestation. That was good.
That was a good transition.
Thank you.
I'm proud of that one for you.
Thank you.
I'm proud for you.
Thank you.
See,
that means a lot to me.
See, I'm not savage.
But you are. That's how everybody knows you.
No, it's not true, though.
It is. So, like, we all have, like, nameplates outside our doors, and mine says John, and
We don't
Ryan
have-
says
we don't
Ryan, and
we don't have
yours
an
says
office.
Savage. I didn't say office. It's outside our doors.
Casters don't
outside
have a
our
door.
doors.
What door?
The door that leads into the little space we have where we sit in between games.
Why are you lying? There's nothing on those doors.
What do you mean?
It says green room.
Well, we used to have those plates. Stop pretending like we didn't used to have them, Graham. Graham's trying to make me look silly. We had them.
Okay.
We don't now in the new building. We
never
just
seen
built.
them.
We used to have them.
Right.
In our other building.
Let's get focused on picks and bans. Okay. Yana's banned out by Spacestation again. LG first pick. Ul banned away. That Ul is just banned away from Baskin. But the problem is that he'll pick another hunter, potentially in the middle.
Apparently Apollo. Why not a Muzen Cobb?
I
Why
will
not
say-
Cupid?
I will say
Play
the
whatever
Ul
you
ban,
want.
The Ul ban is great. Like,
Yeah.
I still think you have the ban that went away from Baskin. Funny enough, you're banning away a hunter from a mid laner,
You have to.
where the mage is generally wrong.
They're going back to this Achilles pick, and we didn't get much time to talk about this one either, Graham, but this was the first time that it looked like Weekend was not able to find very much impact off the Achilles. I'm not saying he win 100% when he picks it, but usually at least he looks good on it. This game, he never really got off to a start.
It started okay, though. Like we said, they got a couple of kills at the start of the game.
Sure.
They just couldn't transition it from that point forward. And the longer the game goes and when the people start to get levels on the opposition team, that's where Achilles starts to struggle, as we kind of expected.
And if you're worried about taking a bunch of Achilles damage, then Geb is certainly a good answer to it, at least to avoid the damage that takes you down into the execute threshold, and then the soul going to come out as well.
And Camazotz and Hachiman. Camazotz in the jungle this time around. We'll see how this one works out for them. It could be the solo. Once again, we've seen it quite a few times. I'm not a big proponent of Camazotz right now. I just don't like it.
In the solo lane or just in general?
Anywhere.
Wow.
I just don't think he brings enough to the team that other junglers do in that scenario. He's very escapable, very good at chasing down targets.
He's kind of like Achilles, isn't it? He just does a bunch of damage.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, like, they've got a bunch of guys that do a bunch of damage and not a ton of control just yet, so maybe they can rely on the Achilles stun. Hachiman has one too, but they're not the greatest, so they're going to need to draft some good control to help this out.
Camazotz is a lot like a real true assassin. And when I say
Right.
real true assassin, it means they 100 to 0 you, but they don't provide any sort of help towards the team.
Right.
Some assassins, kind of like Dodgy, brings a lot of utility to the team. Fear No Evil with Humbat, same sort of thing.
Dodgy is going to be the selection for Space Station, and why not? Andinster looked great on it last game, so take it again. They're going to ban away themselves the Discordia. LG going to ban away the Ardio. Feels as though that's still getting a little bit of credit there from Aquarius, man, after how well we saw him play it.
Hey, Artio's still a solid pick anyway, just because the cripple field on its own just causes so many problems for so many characters in the game. Take it away. Very tanky, very sustainable, and also has an AoE stun.
More eyes towards Keegs again from Space Station as they ban away the Discordia and the Morgan. I believe those were the same second bans that they did in Game 1. They're going to do those once again. And then the Hercules ban coming out from LG. Don't want to see that one in the solo lane.
Just keep firing shots at Aquarius because you can't fire any shots again towards Baskin.
No.
They fired shots at him a minute ago and he went, all right, cool, give me Apollo. So try and take it elsewhere. Love the Odin pick, though.
Yeah, who can get out of this Odin cage? It's not going to be an easy task right now, and that could certainly affect LG's choice of the gods they want to go now. They'll select Raijin, who can Thunder Crash on out of there, and we've seen Raijin be strong.
Yeah, and Raijin really, in the mid lane, there's only really Raijin and Scylla that you could look to try and pick up in that scenario to escape the ring potential that's going to cause a couple of problems. So going the Raijin isn't the worst in the world. I do like this pick there.
Yeah, and the Ganesh dash can kind of serve that same point for them, so they feel comfortable with this Ganesh pick in response to that Odin. Now what's left is that Soul going to the mid, or are they going to draft something for BaRRa here? Because they do have some
Baskin
flex there.
playing?
Do you think Soul's definitely BaRRa? I guess you're right, Apollo again.
Maybe they switch up. I doubt it, though. I highly doubt it.
Why would you?
The only real adjustment Space Station have made is not the Athena this game. Instead, because of the ban, obviously, they're going to go with the Geb instantly. I think Geb and Athena are very, very strong in the support role right now, if not the top two.
And that just goes to show you, prioritizing Jeff's pick with the first one overall. I mean, we talk. There's so many people to talk about on Space Station. Feels like there's never time. But Jeff is certainly a linchpin for this Space Station roster.
Definitely, especially with how aggressive Space Station are playing, because Baskin is aggressive.
He is, yeah.
So is Dodgy, and so is Odin. So having someone on the backside that can throw the shields, knock people up on the counter initiation, will help out.
It'll also help clear out some of that, or try and prevent some of the damage from the Camazotz Achilles, so we'll see how well that'll work for him. Graham, though, before I throw it over, can LG force a game 3 here, or is Space Station taking it?
They can if they play around the objectives correctly here. They've got a bit of a better engage around a Gold Fury outside of the Odin ring, but they've got better secure of that Gold Fury, I feel, with the Raijin ultimate coming through. Could cause a lot of problems for Space Station, but it depends how well they play objectives.
Well, let's see if they're going to be able to play it as well as we know that they can. Space Station versus LG, game 2. Let's get over to Tom and Ryan.
Achilles again, the first selection here. This time in the hands for Luminosity Gaming again. And watching we can play it day in, day out, I've been a happy fan.
No, he's played well on this Achilles overall. Last game obviously didn't get a chance to make a big impact, and that was a lot because of the pressure that andinster was putting on. But even despite that, it was actually Weekend who was ahead of Andy for the majority of that game and still couldn't quite find the plays that Luminosity needed him to make. I'm very surprised, though, I gotta say, by this Odin selection by Space Station. I mean, I just don't really like it here at all, if I'm being frank. The Ganesha can get through it. The Camazotz can not worry about it. The Raijin doesn't have to worry about it that often. You're really only looking at Achilles and Hachiman who get shut down by it. So I kind of caught me by surprise.
I mean, you can be Frank. I'll be Jeff. And right now I'm going to ask you guys to be yourselves. Let us know who you think is going to go ahead and win this one in Mixer Chat, whether it's LG or it's going to be Space Station. You liked that one, didn't you?
No, that's why you're laughing and I'm not, because I thought that was a bad joke.
You liked it. Either way, as we look at this matchup, I think that Space Station Gaming are going to return to that basic attack prowess that really won them the game last time. Soul and Apollo. Switch?
No. You thought they were switched immediately upon the lock-in of the
I was
Apollo.
rooting for the crisscross.
Look, why? Like, what's the point of switching it up? Just because? To mess with your opponent?
Fun.
Okay, well, you know what's fun? Winning.
You know what's fun?
And that's what Space Station did the first game with the Apollo mid and the Soul ADC.
Listen, I just don't think we'd be able to have some fun with the format. Just switch things around. Aggro got that reference because it's about a rock band.
That was a really good reference. I was actually just shell-shocked at how good the reference was. I could barely even respond. Look at the switch-up that BaRRa's making in this game. Last game, he went for an early Bancrofts, I believe, and then into the Warlock staff. Now it looks like he's starting with Warlocks 1. I'm not even convinced that BaRRa finished off stacking the Warlocks last game before Space Station ended the game. So I think if he does plan on going for the Warlocks, this is the right way to do it. Make sure that it can actually be a little bit earlier.
I'm really trying to rack my brain to figure out why the Odin is coming out here. Odin, of course, is going to do a great job at negating the healing from Kiki, but he'll be able to jump on out of there. So maybe, oh man, is Clout that much of a concern?
I mean, he's played well so far this year, so it doesn't surprise me that Space Station want to shut him down, but lots of Warriors shut down Hunters. It's not exclusive to Odin into Hachiman, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
I do think Odin is more than just a cage. He brings more to the team composition than just a cage. Even in the late game, he's one of those Warriors that's really, really difficult to kill, but he's still, I mean, you want the cage to be effective. You're not picking an ultimate that isn't going to be great in the late game just because you feel like playing him, you know?
Yeah. Odin brings early game damage. We've seen Ice Ice Baby in Europe have a lot of success with the Odin jungle because you're able to make use of that bird bomb early on. As the game gets later and later, though, like you sort of alluded to, it does fall off. It becomes less effective. I don't know. Curious choice here. At the end of the day, Season 5 does have a lot of room for what makes you feel good. I think that one winds up being a trade there. Weekend with one, Andy with the other. We're not done yet. Tossing some damage out. So maybe Aquarius just got to get his pick and likes to play the Jumpman.
Look, it's one of those picks that is prevalent enough that a lot of Soul Laners will know the matchup and how to play against it exactly, but doesn't mean that you're able to counter it perfectly anyways, because the early pressure that Odin provides is really, really potent. Aquarius actually doesn't get the Raven Shield, interestingly enough. Usually you'll see Soul Laners just get the 1 and 2 combo, start bird bombing the wave early on, but it doesn't full clear right away like it kind of used to. More about using that 3 to poke it. It's been very effective. Kiki's already half health and only has 1 more health potion remaining in the chalice.
Nice job so far, and that early pressure is certainly something you can depend on the Odin for. No guesswork required there, so we'll see if Space Station Gaming are able to use that early game pressure to their advantage. Right side again, though, andinster looking to use Luminosity's pressure against them. Andy going to jump on the Batman, and the follow-up coming out from Aquarius. Jumps on top, halfway down. There's going to be the continuation. Batman is safe until Andy goes onto the tower! First blood! Space Station.
And that's that early pressure that Aquarius earned by using the Odin kit perfectly. Now Weaken's going to come in, has that blink, looking for Andy. The shield is going to find the stun, and LG find the cleanup kill. Bit of a lazy back there from andinster. Wanted to absorb some of the experience in gold that Aquarius was clearing out in that lane, but just needed to go all the way back to the tower if he wanted to be safe.
Just shouldn't happen. That's just a flat mistake, unfortunately, for andinster there. Absolutely just shouldn't die there. Weaken, good heads-up play. Nothing too fancy, just pressing the right buttons at the right time. I mean, that's a required play, if you ask me, from Luminosity jungler.
But it's a good sign if you're rooting for Luminosity and their jungler, because Weaken getting off to a little bit of a lead, kind of like he did last time. Now, he's not going to have the gold lead because of the first blood bounty going in andinster's way, but at least putting him off the map for a little bit and getting an extra camp or two, an extra wave that andinster doesn't get to get. I wonder if Weaken's going to be able to hit level 5 first. It's kind of a matter of how much he's been splitting versus soloing down by himself. So about a little under halfway there. No, it looks like Andy will be able to hit that Powwow first. And if so, I'd love to see Andy come over to this right-hand side. If he can hit 5 off this blue buff, which I believe he will, I will have that Powwow available now just under level 5. So could maybe absorb a minion or two and then use that ultimate before Weaken or Kiki has anything. That is unfortunate, but he still hits level 5.
Oh, Kiki on the bad side getting surrounded by Space Station. There's the ring, there's the Powwow. And that's actually going to give Andy vision on a Weaken who gets pulled on in there. The bat goes into the ultimate. Andy's got to be really careful. The turnaround damage from Luminosity is big. Andy can provide some of the turnaround damage as well. Which way is it turning? Andy takes care of Weaken. Meanwhile, mid lane, the solo kill. Baskin takes advantage of keegsmate for the second time.
Man, that was so unfortunate for Andy. He blinks in and immediately eats the shield
into the stun
from Weaken and waits a little bit too long, I think, to use the ultimate because it allowed Kiki to hit level 5 in time to not get pulled in himself. But either way ends up A-okay for Space Station. They find the kill in solo and in mid, and maybe even another one in right.
And this is, I would think, the reason we see Baskin playing this instead of the Hunter. He can make those meaningful rotations and cut down Kiki like that one. Can also do the same thing to the left side as well. The rotation ability coming out from Apollo, obviously unmatched, but by starting in the mid lane instead of over there on the left side, you're going to have mana when you land down. You're going to be able to fight a little bit more efficiently, and leaving your lane is a little bit less devastating because you have teammates that can cover it, 1, and also B, he's already made the play.
Ooh, Jeff has to use the Cataclysm, but silence from Geno will stop anything else from going on. In fact, Andy's going to go in now onto keegsmate. His dash is down, no ultimate for him. He used it against Baskin earlier on, but Andy's now in some trouble. Jeff is as well. Weaken
but Clout
still trying to chase it. He's got that execute ready.
Oh, and he's coming through with it, but Clout finds the last hit. Clout finds another last hit. Double un for Le Clout. And Aquarius bites back, taking care of Weaken, but the rotation from the Hunter, even with the knowledge, BaRRaCCuDDa pinged it out. He said Clout's coming, and Space Station couldn't do a damn thing about it. The Canadian Hunter shows up, 2 kills already with a single rotation.
You know what they say, no good deed goes unpunished. Baskin body blocks the execute away from andinster, but he falls anyways to the mounted archery, and all that means is that Baskin's that much easier to get cleaned up by the rotation in from Clout. Good rotation, though, from Aquarius, utilizing that lead that he's gotten for himself with the early pressure that Space Station has put onto Kiki in that solo lane, able to at least leverage it out and make sure that Weaken doesn't get too far ahead of andinster.
Clout's one of these guys that the common thread, the common conversation right now among the Smite water coolers is the effectiveness of hunters, or lack thereof. I watch Clout, and I wonder what these guys are talking about. He makes these hunters... What is it that he does exactly? Because he makes these hunters look better than almost every other player.
He just picks his spots really well. I think that's the thing that stands out to me about Clout is that you'll see games where he plays very, very passively and doesn't really make a big impact just because he knows he can't in those situations. But if he sees an opportunity, he's not going to hesitate. And he plays very aggressively when given the opportunity. And that's what I think is the mark of a really good professional player, not just exclusive to the Hunter role. But I think that it is so much less of a Hunter problem and more, if there is any problem, which I'm not convinced that there is, of a dual lane issue more than anything else. I mean, we've seen mages go there and do okay. We've seen hunters go there and do okay or great or poorly. You know, it's not it's not any particular class in my mind, and Clout is one of the guys that proves that pretty consistently.
He's been doing it the entire time he's been playing too. When Clout came up on that enemy squad with Pain Devion and Benji and all those guys, I mean, even then, that was what allowed him to really be successful, I think, was him and the team. I think the team sort of got that into his mindset, and Clout's brought that with him. You always take things from the teams that you were with. I think that's what him and his squad did best on the old enemy roster that wound up runner-up at Worlds once upon a time.
Weekend in trouble, has that execute, but it's not going to let him get out of the cage here. Uses it, just try and juke out Aquarius, but the bird bomb is good. Now Baskin just going to wait out Kiki. He flies a little higher, but instead it's actually going to head towards mid. He's looking for Keegs.
And it's going to be the wraparound. Meanwhile, Clout able to take care of BaRRaCCuDDa on the left lane. Right here, Kiki in trouble, trying to battle it out 1 versus 2. Andinster's going to take care of him. And the mid lane will go the other way. 3 players dead for Luminosity in 3 separate fights. Ryan, we saw this for Spacestation last time around, where Baskin was able to get a solo kill while there was a fight going on the right side. I think that's the trouble for LG, is the fact that they just keep losing kind of everywhere, the exception being Clout.
Baskin is 3 levels up right now, and look at the damage he's doing to Weekend already. Uses the last of his mana to dash forward, and Weekend with some good jukes will prevent him from falling. Teleport in from Kiki. Now, Weekend does have the blink, but no execute quite yet. But even with Keegs in tow, man, Baskin's full HP and can box it out well enough despite being out of mana.
I want to break down that Baskin ultimate because that was so much fun to watch. It was funny and also effective. He bounces. He hits the ultimate. KikiSoCheeky is like, word, he's gone. See you later. And then he comes over to the solo side and goes, oh, y'all got this. No problem. I'm going to head home. And doesn't even get out the Uber. Lands back in middle lane, surrounds KikiSoCheeky, who thinks he has the 1 versus 1, and goes, didn't you just leave? And Baskin says, nah.
I was here all along. Kiki may as well be asking Andinster if he's leaving anytime soon, because he has been consistently in this solo lane. And because of that, Aquarius, despite being 2-0-4 compared to Kiki's 0-3, is only up about a level. Now, the net worth is a lot bigger. It's about 900 in Aquarius's favor, but the XP not as bad as it could be right now for LG solo, just because of how many waves he's had to split.
Your mom ever tell you she's like going out real quick, so you do something you're not supposed to, and then she returns faster than you thought?
Yep.
Oh, I forgot to grab this, or I forgot to do this, and you're like, I'm playing Xbox and I was punished. Oh no, I'm in trouble now. That's what Baskin did to Keegs.
Pretty much, yeah. That's a perfect analogy for it. Now, Andy's actually heading over to this left-hand side, and this is one of those tough calls if you're Space Station's jungler, because you keep preying on the weak. Do you keep going on to the right and killing Kiki now that he's already behind, or do you come to the left and try and stem the bleeding from your duo lane? Do you try and give BaRRa a foothold in this lane? I'm of the opinion that I think I'd rather see Andy hang around mid and right, kind of leave BaRRa out to dry. He'll be okay enough, and just keep pushing the lead in mid and right side so that you could have an easy win condition. But at the same time, I mean, if you get even 1 kill right now on the left, you're in such a good spot.
The difference is that Aquarius can do it by himself.
True.
Kiki gets soloed by the young Odin pilot. Down goes the Batman.
Some poetic justice that Kiki's getting ran by an Odin, right? Because Kiki kind of brought this Odin back last year. He was the dude who was picking it when it didn't seem to make a lot of sense into compositions that didn't really mind about the Odin cage, because he was just utilizing that early pressure and the body block ability that the cage brings. Like I said, man, I think there's some credence to just picking Odin, whether you're going to be trapping multiple people in the cage or not.
I don't... So it's interesting. We were discussing this Odin pick. Not that it was bad. It's not like picking a healer into an Odin and Circuit combo, right? It's not a bad pick. It was just that there wasn't a reason for the Odin. And I think what it comes down to is much less specific. I really don't think Odin brings much more than early pressure in a cage. But I think that Aquarius pilots this god very well. And I think that personal comfort, personal prowess, that's what's happening right now, is that Aquarius just understands this kit and what this character can do so well that it doesn't really matter when he picks it.
Ultimate in from Andy. He's going to pull in Geno, and he's
See ya.
not even going to survive the stun duration. Baskin gets that one, but good ultimate from Keeg. Sets up Weekend for the execute.
And he's going to continue this one. Not going to find the execute on Andy, but a ton of damage being dealt by that Achilles. And here comes Baskin. Mesmerize. So beautiful. The Doublehoon 1 versus 2 for Baskin Robbins. Credible, incredible, out-credible. Don't care what you say. This guy is a one-man team fight.
That's one of the situations for LG where they get the kill onto Jeff, then Andy gets really low and they get that kill, and they're and Weekend and Keeks are like, all right, yeah, kill Baskin now. Oh. All right, yeah, we probably shouldn't have gone for that. Dude, he is so far ahead now, 4 levels. He just hits way too damn hard for Luminosity to really handle.
Those basics are insane.
Well, it's the skin, too. Remember, the skin is actually
You
a
gotta
critical
stop.
part
No,
of
it's
the
not.
way that
Not
he's
at
been
all.
playing this god. It allows you to just have the confidence, look good, feel good. You know, everyone says that. It really applies here to Baskin as well. Great skin selection.
If you're going to do that, do it about an expensive skin, not a recolor, please and thank you.
Yeah, that's fair. No, it's a tier 2.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Not as recolor.
Gold Fury pulled here.
Slick Shot is a bad Apollo recolor, man. I'm not about that life. Don't run that one.
Gold Fury pulled here. 50%. All right. The objective. Going to be leashed out. Luminosity sniffs around.
I should release a skin tier list for every god. I think that's a good idea. I have very passionate opinions about which skins you should be using.
Fats used to be all about that skin tier list.
Really?
Yeah, Fats pays less attention to Smite these days. Homie works over in a different world now. But watching what Fats was able to do, making the skin tier list, really fun stuff. It was always one of my favorite pieces of content from a really good friend of mine. So,
Oh, so you'd like it if I made it too, right?
no, I think I'd hate it.
Why? Because you'd realize that all the skins you're using were the inferior calls all along?
No, I think I just like Fats and I don't like you. Aquarius trying to run away from the middle lane. I'm just kidding, folks. I don't want you to get the idea that me and Aggro don't like each other. We're actually going to hang out later.
Hey, did you mean it earlier when you said you didn't like me?
I just did it for the likes. I'm sorry.
All right, that's fair. Gotta get those impressions, my guy. I feel that.
That's what I'm saying. It's the impression that I get. No. Did you get that one? That's a ska reference. JeffHindla got that one.
Yeah, he probably did.
Shout out to everybody that watches JeffHindla's stream out there in the sex house, as he calls it. His words, not mine. Andy being aggressed on by the solo lane Zotz. And he'll be in trouble here. The Zotz, that is.
Yeah.
As Baskin shows up, and one basic is just crushing this dude. Look, he hasn't even used the ability yet. Aquarius rotating to try and take control of the scenario. Baskin and execute threshold, but the players can't catch up.
The Aussie, the healing Baskin just takes it to Keys. Baited into jumping on top of him. Baskin sitting at a quarter health, but then he gets a Geb shield. He hits the Aussie passive. He's got the fully stacked Devo gloves, and he's popping Keegs for more than each of the Taiko drum shots are doing to him. Brutal.
At some point, it just gets silly. 11 to 16. It's the levels of the mid laners that I'm mentioning, by the way. And closer to 17 is Baskin. Here comes Spacestation trying to aggress onto Luminosity, who do find a nice Pyromancer. I like that call. But unfortunately, I just don't know if it's going to be enough. Trailing by 4,000 already. And he goes up on the pout now, more defensive than anything else. Trying to find an exit strategy. Left-hand side.
Nice cage.
And he barely gets out of that cage.
Really nice cage there from Aquarius. Saves Andy's life. Andy actually pulled the Fire Giant there. Looked like it may have even been intentionally to try and get LG off of him, but meanwhile, on the left-hand side, Baskin going to take on Weekend and the Tier 2. This one a little bit overeager.
Again, force your opponent to fix your mistake. Baskin trying to make the split push happen. Clout, on the other hand, just getting surrounded and pounded. Number 15 for Space Station Gaming here. I mean, this is the type of game that Oregon or Shonduras kind of envisioned. Shonduras, if you know the guy, he's a very high energy, always going ham, like a skateboarder. And this is high energy, high octane Smite from Space Station. This isn't a, we're going to win in 56 minutes with a Raijin in the Hunter lane. This is Baskin, just shoot people in the brain. Andy, jump on dudes. And Aquarius, what do you want to play? Odin? Sure, bro. We're going in hard.
To put it in terms that Sean will be familiar with, it's like Baskin's been hitting every trick that he's gone for so far. And then he's like, yo, I'm going to do something insane. I'm just going to throw a 1080 out there. Then he hits the ground, obviously messes it up, and sits up and goes, cool, shouldn't have done that one.
Sure.
And then moves on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he dies underneath the tier 2. Cool, shouldn't have done that one. My bad. Now I'm going to go keep styling on him with the kick flips or something. Am I right on that? That's my Tony Hawk Pro Skater references right there.
Close enough.
That's where I learned all I know about skateboarding from. I was way too injury prone to ever try and skateboard.
I was injury prone because I skateboarded.
Fair.
Nothing 50-50 about this grind, however. Space Station Gaming with almost 100% of the game so far. The Mez going to interrupt the jump. But the Raijin not going to get away. The hot hands from andinster continuing. keegsmate takes the spill. Up on the pole, Dragon Geno. Here comes Baskin. And pop, pop, pop. Nice ultimate coming out to stop the damage for a moment. But Aquarius jumps over the mess, looking for the back end. On the front end, andinster is going to fall to Clout. This is Space Station being a little over-aggressive, but Aquarius just handling what he wants to.
Look, tier 2 is going to fall soon. Actually, Baskin trying to take the 1v1 up against Clout on the other side. Kiki, nice little jump, gets over that bird bomb, but Aquarius going to be able to finish off this tier 2 along with some Geb basics. Clout now stuck between a rock and an ocean, but it's the bird who will bring him down. The bird bomb. It was close. It was close.
Ocean? I'm lost.
Can we head over to the, look at Aquarius right now. Yep. Okay, now, yeah, right over there. See, all that in ocean.
It's more like a bay.
It's a giant body of water, Tom.
It's a lagoon.
You don't know where the other end of that is.
No, there's a little rock there.
You can have rocks in the ocean.
Not that big, then they're islands.
Yes, islands are in the ocean. That is very clearly possibly an ocean.
It's clearly a waterfall. What are you talking about?
There can be waterfalls in the ocean.
What?
They're just underwater.
You are out of your mind.
That's actually true. Like the drop-offs from shallow water to deep water, technically a waterfall.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Sure it is.
So 18-8. I'm just walking away. 18-8. Space Station Gaming have control of this game. Their hands around the throats of Luminosity. I mean, I don't know how to describe this one other than this is a runaway train. I mean, this is Space Station Gaming picking up. Luminosity had some good success in the early game with Achilles. One of the complaints, I think, about this character is that he falls off late game. I don't know whether it's the fact that he fell off or Baskin jumped on, but Luminosity just not in the good place.
I just don't think anyone from LG could handle Baskin. This was a close game until everyone pressed tab, realized that Baskin was playing Apollo and was 80,000 levels ahead of everyone else.
And he's going to the back line!
And diving Phoenixes.
Oh, man. Baskin just handling everybody. The basics too hot to handle. 21 on the kill column. Space
There's
Station
still a
Gaming
tier 2, boys.
following the leader.
Yeah, okay. You can't hurt the Phoenix till you get the tier 2.
Did they try?
No, I don't think so. They were trying to kill Kiki.
Are you sure?
No. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt.
I have done that one before, by the way. I have accidentally done that one. Space Station Gaming looking for the end here. I wouldn't call this overzealous, but their success so far, the damage is there. 20 minutes on the clock here, folks. BaRRaCCuDDa takes one for posterity. And ladies and gentlemen, Bask Station Gaming take this one 22-8.
Look, coming into this year and even towards the middle of this split, everyone's talking about Baskin. I'm like, yeah, but the rest of Space Station is super good. Like, don't overlook andinster. He's been playing well in the jungle. You know BaRRa's going to pick it up at some point whenever they need him to. I'm done with that, man. Baskin's just winning games by himself at this point. It really feels that way.
The gap between Baskin and the rest of the pack has always been there. I think Baskin has always been a little bit better than the majority of players, of course, adapting and other people in that conversation. But I think in Season 5, the gap has widened.
Yeah.
Very rarely, even talking about players like adapting, have I seen a player single-handedly win a game of Smite, adapting and other junglers might be able to get a lead and then hand it off to the team who then continue it. Baskin, not only 2 days ago did he win a game by himself. Today, he won a set by himself. Fantastic supporting cast. But Baskin won this game by himself.
Yeah, he really did. Look, andinster played well. He got Aquarius ahead. Aquarius played well. The duo lane watched from a distance.
Yeah.
And Baskin just destroyed everybody. It just comes back to that one team fight by left mid Harpies, right? Everyone from Spacestation starting to follow Luminosity, gaining some momentum, and then they run into the brick wall that is Baskin. And he just squashes both Weekend and keegsmate, and everyone from Luminosity receives the wake-up call that no matter how well you're doing against 4 members of Spacestation, you gotta beat Baskin at some point.
MVP, let us know who you think. 67% of you think that the water on the left side is an ocean. I'm willing to
my guys
say that there's
and
maybe some
girls,
wiggle
great
room there.
work. Great work, chat. You continue to have my back. Great work, guys. Nice.
Congratulations to Baskin. We've got a desk and one more set. Let's break this one down, boys.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Aggro, as well. Finch here. I got Graham with me on the desk, and Space Station Gaming continue to look dominant here today. 20 minutes, they take the Titan.
20 minutes. That was very, very rough situation for LG to be in. Yeah, okay. Baskin's playing well. Let's just ignore the Baskin factor.
Let's
now,
let that go understood. Yeah.
It's almost getting old already by this point. You can't discredit the player, though. The player is playing amazing. Baskin's having a great season for himself. He's actually, I feel he's making Space Station look better than they are.
And he's doing it without playing mages. I mean, there's a lot of talk about how good mage items are right now, how good mages are. Baskin's doing it with Camazotz and Apollo. And he is chosen by Mixer Chat here as the MVP as well.
It's not often that you get to see a solo kill in the mid lane. It's been a while. You don't get them very often. I mean, Keegs has picked up one, I think, this split. But recently, not many solo kills in competitive play, let alone a 2v1 in competitive
now,
play.
I think he had Audacity up. I cannot say for sure, but that's what it looked like to me. But yes, he finds that play in the jungle. It's so big for the team as Baskin continues to do essentially whatever it is that he wants. Wow. That's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage.
He's in a strong position right now already. I mean, level 13 here. Comes into this fight. A little bit late. A lot of abilities have been used, though, so it wasn't necessarily a full 2v1. Just want to take the credit away from that too much, but he still plays it well.
At the end of it.
Yeah. I mean, Mez at the right time. Works out perfectly for him. Great play from Baskin. Credit where it's due, though, to Aquarius and andinster on that right-hand side of the map. Had a big impact there. Dual lane wasn't really needed, and I think that's the biggest talking point for me, is that dual lane hasn't been needed from Space Station Gaming yet. BaRRaCCuDDa has not been needed this season. How often is it you get to say that about Barra not being needed by his team?
He's kind of earned it, though. I mean, do you remember, like, Season 3, Barra, like, and dragging him to Worlds? Or he's had games where he's come in sick and like a hero on a white on a white horse. I mean, he's earned it.
You might be right. You know, it might just be karma that finally Barra's like, yes, this is a season. I can just sit here and get paid like every other hunter in the SPL has for seasons before me.
I do want to make sure, though, and you were doing it just now, that we give some credit to the rest of the Space Station roster, though, before we go into this break. I mean, yes, Aquarius looked excellent at Odin. I think he was 7-0-10. Yeah. Actually, part of more kills overall, I believe, even than Baskin, who I think was 8-2-8, something to that effect. So, I mean, Aquarius certainly all over this game.
Yeah, really piloting himself well in the solo lane overall, not just on the Odin. I just think he's having a stellar performance this season. It's a nice backbone linchpin for them, too, because when it comes to the team fights, he's very insurmountable. Solo laners have to be a very strong frontliner. They can't give up a lot in the early game, have to be careful about early mistakes. And then when they get to the team fights, they have to select things well, and he's doing a very good job for his team.
Well, Aquarius and the rest of Space Station continuing to impress here in the North American SPL. But we still have one more set, so go ahead and grab a drink, and we will be right back.
take my hand. And we don't need to do the things we